Now, sorry for the delay. There's been overwhelming demand, as you can imagine. Welcome to this live Force India F1 team online launch of its 2011 challenger, the VJM04. Its predecessor, the VJM03, scored 68 points and gave the team its best ever finish in the FIA Formula One World Championship last year. The car you'll see unveiled very shortly builds on this pedigree, and the team is confident it will take it to the next level of performance. In the conference today, we will have exclusive footage of the VJM04 with insights from Technical Director Andrew Green. Drivers Adrian Sutil and Paul de Resta, together with test and reserve driver Nico Hulkenberg, also join us to discuss the new car and look forward to the season ahead, while Chief Operating Officer Otmar Zafnauer will give us the inside line on the team's aims. But first, the bit we've all been waiting for, the reason we're here today. Let's take the wraps off the VJM04 and show you what the rest of the field is up against.
I'd say that the VJM4 is mechanically a very straightforward evolution from VJM3, but undoubtedly the biggest changes that we saw over the winter were aerodynamic. With the removal of the double diffuser, that resulted in quite a substantial loss of downforce, which we've spent the winter trying to recover. All of those sort of changes are under the skin. From the outside, the biggest change you'll see is move to a roll blade type roll hoop. And this gave us a small packaging advantage, we felt, so we went down that route. The KERS packaging was relatively straightforward. We've incorporated the Mercedes system, which we believe is very strong. It involves very few compromises in the chassis. Located under the fuel cell, we believe that would be a strong advantage to us in 2011. The resultant removal of F ducts means that the engine cover design has changed to suit that, but in its place we've got this drag reduction system, which from the outside you can't really see. You'll only see it when it's moving on the track. So those are the main changes. Mechanically, like I said, underneath it is an evolution. We've taken what we learnt last year, tried to move it up another step, and integrated that into VJM4. So nothing radical yet.
So that's given you a taster of the new car, always such an exciting time. Now, Otmar, last year was Force India's most successful season, and obviously this year the targets are a lot more aggressive, aren't they? So what are those ambitions, and can you actually achieve them with this new car?
Well, last year we finished a strong 7th. We were in 6th for most of the season, and yeah, we always want to improve, and our objectives this year are to finish higher than last year. We're targeting 5th place in the championship. In order to do so, we've got to score points from the beginning and all the way throughout the season until the end. To do that, we need strong developments throughout the year, which we've got planned. And if all goes well and we're in good position in some of the races, perhaps even a podium or two is also our aim.
It would be very tasty, absolutely. You're obviously one of the smallest teams on the grid, so it must be difficult to compete with the real big guys there.
It is. We probably have half the personnel of some of the bigger teams, and they also have more resources. However, we know that that's where we are. We hone our procedures and our processes. We have a dynamic workforce that works well together. And we know what we have to do, and we go out and do it. I think we do punch above our weight, but our target is to do so even more.
Okay. Brilliant, absolutely. Adrian, this is your 5th season, isn't it, so far? Does that actually make it easier for you, you know, coming into it?
Yeah, I know all the procedures, so it's definitely a little advantage. So I can just work and try to get the most performance out of the car as possible. So it makes things easier. I know my engineer very well. We worked together since I'm in this team, so I'm ready for the season really, and I don't really need to adapt to anything new.
Yeah, it just feels a lot most natural, one would assume.
Absolutely.
There are obviously a lot of changes though, aren't there, this season with the regulations? We've got KERS, we've got new tyre manufacturer Pirelli, the adjustable rear wing. Do you think about that as a racing driver? Do you think, God, that's great, these changes are going to be really cool this year, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a challenge. I'm always happy to have some changes, and it's interesting to look at. And those ones are probably very helpful for overtaking, for more action in the races. The KERS is a good system. I think we have a strong partner there with the Mercedes KERS. It should be all very good for us. And also the wing. Yeah, let's see how it goes. A lot of things to test first with that new development really. But when it comes to race, for sure, we will see more overtaking this year.
Yeah, it could be fun, absolutely. Paul, congratulations, getting the race seat. Obviously, you've been enjoying the last week as a sort of fully fledged F1 race driver now. What's it been like?
Well, it's a very exciting time for me. It's been a long-term ambition to be a Formula 1 race driver. Thankfully, we're leaving off a great year last year, progressing from the test and reserve driver at Force India, and just really concentrated on trying to do my best for this year. We've had a hard year, working hard at it. Hopefully this year we can continue that progress and develop on.
It must feel great when you finally just get that call from your agent just saying, yes, you've got the seat.
Definitely, and things progressed along last year. Force India were committed to me at the beginning. Thankfully that moved on, and hopefully we can build a stable long-term future ahead with good things to come.
What are your expectations this year for yourself?
It's very difficult to predict too much because there's a lot of key factors, but I think we have to be very positive. Our ambitions are higher than last year, and certainly just now the numbers seem to be ticking the box. That will give us that progression upwards.
It's great. It's all feeling good, isn't it? And Force India's newest recruit, Nico Hulkenberg. Now, you got your first taste of a Force India car last week at Valencia, didn't you? What were your impressions?
Well, I had and still have a very, very positive first impression after our first day last week at Valencia, driving the VJM04 there, gathering a lot of data from the new Pirelli tyres. It's a very exciting day for me, and enjoyed working there, and I'm hungry for more.
Did you learn a lot about the tyres last week? I suppose we've got 3 more tests, haven't we? But
yeah, for me it was the first time, as I didn't do the Abu Dhabi test last year, so it was quite interesting seeing how the new tyres work, how they affect the car balance, the setup, and I think we did some good work on there, but we need to go to different circuits to learn even more about it.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit more, just before we move on, about what you're going to be doing in your role. Is it going to be very similar to what Paul did last year?
It is actually. I'm going to be obviously around for the race weekends. I will drive on the Friday the practice 1 session. I'll be close to the team, trying to be as helpful as I can from the outside. I will be doing a lot of work in the simulator, and trying to move the team forward together with the drivers.
Great. Okay, we've had lots of questions coming in from our front row contest. So the first question I'm reading here is from Sarab Sharma, who asks, Paul, this is for you. All eyes apparently are on you this season. How have you prepared for this challenge, and also the tremendous pressure of the support and hopes of the Indian public? Of course, we've got the inaugural Indian Grand Prix this year.
As I've said, it is an exciting time. I've tried to prepare myself as best as possible. I think Force India gave me a good opportunity last year. They got me involved as much tasks as I could, and really just trying to learn as much as possible over the winter, developing the car, and equally working with the team closely to try and make my first race at Bahrain run as smoothly as possible. It is a difficult challenge, but one that I'm definitely up for the fight, and we really need to see how it plans.
Do you take pressure?
Yeah, I suppose you do. You have to deal with it as a race driver. We are under pressure. You have to perform and get the results, and that certainly is what makes you successful. We're all looking very much forward to the Indian Grand Prix this year, being an Indian back team, certainly for the first Indian Grand Prix. Hopefully, we can certainly be developing on, certainly closer to our rivals, and get a good result. It's a long way away, but I'm sure our approach will be exactly the same, and that's to perform to our best of ability.
Fantastic. Okay, let's get some more questions in. So this is from Atal Sood, who asks, Otmar, Force India moved from being a back marker to a strong midfield contender last year. How difficult is it to develop the race car to be more competitive, to challenge for those podiums, as you say, and even those race wins?
It was very difficult in the midfield last year, as we saw, and the further we move up, the more difficult it becomes. The teams we're going to be competing against, like we said earlier, have more people, more resources, but we're up for the challenge. We think fifth is an achievable objective, an achievable target, and also podium finishes, if all goes well, will be achievable. We've got a very aggressive development plan that will start coming in when we reach Europe, and that will last throughout the year.
Yeah, great. Okay. Next question we've got from Akshay Sarnaik, and they ask, with KERS and the movable rear wing being operated from the steering wheel itself, how difficult will it be for the drivers to handle the cars on tracks like Monaco, which obviously demand a lot of concentration? Let me start with you, Adrian. I'm going to ask all of you this one, but it must be something that's in your head at the moment. It's going to be different, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's two new systems and extra work in the cockpit. We'll have special circuits where it's like Monaco, where it's a lot of work to really do the right thing when you're driving on the limit, and plus extra work every lap, every corner on the steering wheel. But then if we go on a circuit like Spa in Belgium, the longer straights, more time to think about that, but I think it's all about getting used to it and adapt yourself to it, and until it goes to a normal way to do it. You like shifting up and down, you just don't have to think about that, you just do it.
I suppose even using that adjustable rear wing, somewhere like Monaco, it's going to be like qualifying. You're going to be using it all the time, aren't you?
Definitely, and workload in the cockpit has increased. I think mentally it's going to be much tougher, because you're going to be thinking a lot more about these things, the KERS and the adjustable rear wing, making sure the systems are working, believing that they are going to work. But we have a lot of tools back in the factory. We can simulate it, do as much work pre-event as possible to enable us to make it work on the track on a Grand Prix weekend.
Yeah. Nico, do you think the show is going to be better with the regulation changes, the technical changes that we've had this year?
Yeah, it should be. It looks promising, the system. And I only can repeat what the two guys said. Obviously, for drivers, the workload goes up, but I'm sure the drivers will adapt to it and will be good at using it. But hopefully, the system promises or shows what it promised, and we have some good racing this year.
Excellent. I'm sure there will be. Right, next question. Yo Bala via Twitter asks Otmar, with lots of top staff leaving and with only current staff being promoted, is this small team good enough to clinch podium?
I think it is. I think we have strength and depth in our technical staff. We've got many people who have been with the team for a long time that have now been promoted and are coming into their own. I think we've created a good mechanical package that was an evolution of last year's car, and we're working hard on the aerodynamic package, and we've increased our aerodynamic personnel. We've added another team. We run 24/7 in the wind tunnel now, which is something that's recent. So I think with those positive changes, we will be able to compete. It's never good to lose senior technical people, but such is the game in Formula One.
Yes, and what a game it is. Okay, Force India fan Bobby McKenna asks, have design developments with the car been focused on improving your performance at high downforce circuits? Adrian, can you answer this one?
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, that was always our problem a little bit, the high downforce circuits, but we did try during the winter to think about what happened last year. We lost a little bit in the end of the season, and especially on those circuits, and just try to make it better. Let's see how it goes, really. But I think it will be a much stronger car again, and we should be definitely up there and score a lot of points, hopefully. And very important is just to keep that level this year, to not tail off in the end of the season.
Yeah.
We want to be absolutely always there, and probably even stronger in the end of the season.
Yeah, continuity always wins, absolutely. Right, now some questions that you've been emailing, and thank you for all of your questions so far for the team. Oscar asks Nico, how do you feel about being a test and reserve driver?
Well, obviously, one crying eye to not have a race seat in this year. On the other hand, I'm still in Formula 1, I'm still here, get the opportunity to drive a Formula 1 car in practice 1, which is the good news. And yeah, I will work hard and give everything, to come back into a race seat next year.
I suppose whatever happens next, it's good for you to have that experience of 2 different teams in 2 years to carry on to whatever is next for your world.
It is good. It is, another bit of experience, seeing 2 different teams, how they work, how they operate, feel the difference in the cars, in their philosophy. So, for me as a driver, that is also, again, an advantage in experience. And yeah, I'm happy where I am with the team now, and I'm looking forward to a good relationship.
Great. Right, well, we've got loads of questions coming in, so we'll keep going. This is for Otmar. Luis asks, how will the partnership with McLaren help the team?
Well, the partnership with McLaren has helped the team already. We purchased from McLaren our gearbox and hydraulic systems, which allows the rest of our small team to concentrate on the areas of performance differentiation, mainly the aerodynamics and the remainder of the mechanical package. And because of it, we focus in those areas, and it makes us more competitive. Also, their hydraulic systems, as well as the gearbox, are very reliable, which helps in finishing races and scoring points.
Okay. Right, next question up. It's a good thing I don't need glasses here. This is for Adrian. Sander asks, how do you see progress since 2007?
Oh yeah, big progress, of course. Yeah, we started in the real back of the grid. With this time, it was called Spiker, but pretty similar people. But then we just structured the whole team new. Since VJ took over the team, many changes have been done, and the staff is now so concentrated just on doing their job and developing the car. We have Mercedes as a strong partner in engine and Kurs now, and McLaren partnership is very important for us. It was, I think, the best solution for a successful future for our team, and it gave us real strength in the last years. It was definitely a key for our progress.
Simon is asking everyone what their thoughts are on Pirelli tyres. So firstly, with you, Paul, what do you think about it's a big change, isn't it?
That's a massive change. Going away from Pirelli have done a fantastic job. I think they've come in with a tyre that definitely has performance. It's much better than people predicted, and they're improving all the time. And I think the more and more time we're getting, the more the teams can adjust the car design and how the approach should be to the tyre. But I think we're going to be exciting times. There is some interesting stuff, and hopefully, us as a team can get on top of the tyre quickly, because it is probably the most crucial part of the weekend to get that working in an operating range for qualifying. Yeah. Because that is where most of the performance comes from. Nico,
do you think they're going to drop off a lot? We're going to see different races?
From what I experienced last week in Valencia, I think they do, which on one side is tough for the drivers, is a challenge for drivers and teams to manage the tyre degradation. On the other hand, it will make racing more exciting. We'll probably see more than just one pit stop. So I think for the outside world, or for TV spectators and general spectators, it will be a quite positive effect.
And Adrian, do you feel that you're good at managing tyres? How are you in the sort of F1 world of because some drivers are really good, aren't they, compared to others? Where are you?
Yeah, I think I can handle it, definitely. I had one go on it, also in Valencia, and it was quite good test, just first experience with the tire. It drops off, of course, quite quick. It is in qualifying probably a 1 lap performance of the tire, which is good as well.
Yeah.
And for sure we're gonna see more pit stops, yeah, which is, I think, also a good point, because last year was getting a little bit boring with the one stop. It was very similar every race. The only race which was different was Canada, and the people loved it. So, and also for us, for strategy wise, it was more interesting to do something and to try something. So I look forward to that one. It's a new challenge, and I'm sure Pirelli gonna handle it well.
And get those guys on the pit wall thinking more, as they will be. Right, more questions. We're having loads coming in here. Martin asks, Paul, can you tell me the difference between F1 and DTM, and what is your target this year? Congratulations, by the way, for winning DTM last year.
It is a very difficult thing to explain to somebody who's not too involved in both series, but I think the best way to describe it is the DTM is probably the best engineered touring car in the world, and equally Formula 1 is the best engineered single-seater. There are some similarities to drive. DTM is obviously much heavier, but like anything, it develops on. It is a big, strong manufacturer that I worked for Mercedes, and they are developing on. Equally like Force India, they are progressing as well, and I think that's definitely a key to what I've worked with, is the rate of development on both accounts needs to be well, and hopefully I can manage that from my experience in the past.
Okay, next question up for Otmar. This is from Joseph. He asks, how realistic is Force India potential in comparison with Williams, Lotus and Renault?
Well, Williams, Lotus and Renault are formidable competitors. Williams beat us by 1 point last year.
I know. That was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, Renault were a bit ahead of us, but we want to. Our objective is to beat Williams this year and be more competitive with the Renault.
Okay. All right. Next question we have. This is for everyone from Miran. Who are your main rivals? Who do you think, Adrian, driver and team, are your main rivals this year?
Let's start at the teams. I think it will be Williams again. It will be hopefully Renault. Maybe we are really close to them, and we want to be in the top 5 in the end of the season. That's a big goal. It means we have to beat one of the big factory teams. So let's see how it goes. Personal, for sure. Well, when I'm in, my aim is to be in the top 10 this year again. And then you're driving against big names, of course. I had a lot of battles last year with Michael, which was always very nice, and I enjoyed it a lot. But I can't really mention any driver there. Is all the drivers around there in that area, they're all strong, and so for sure I'll have a lot of fights with very different drivers.
Anyone in particular, Paul, you're looking forward to racing against?
I've raced against a lot of the guys before coming through junior ranks, which is great to eventually be back on the grid with them. However, I'm going in with an open mind. Certainly, they're all opposition, and you want to beat them all. So we just really need to see how the year plans out. But I'm sure as a team we'll do our utmost to get the best possible result out of it.
Okay. Right, pretty much last questions coming up here. This is from Dimitri. Will the extra systems on the car make the racing more exciting? Nico, what do you think? We've already sort of touched on this, haven't we, that it could improve the show as such?
Well, yeah. The FIA and the teams introduced these rules to make racing better, to make overtaking better, easier for the driver. So, the whole show improves, and I think we would all be quite disappointed if that doesn't, or if that is not the case. So I think they're on a good way, and we'll find out very shortly if it works out or not.
Paul?
I think Nico's covered it. There is a technical working group that tried to, create overtaking, and only time will tell. I'm sure the systems I've put in place are very positive, but we might need a bit of tweaking just to finalise it. But I think we should be confident there will be some kind of action. And I think last year, if you look back, was a great year for overtaking. It is going to be better this year, and equally, it depends really on how the tyre performs and how people get to grips with it. So I think we should be quite positively surprised to see how it goes.
Yeah, no, as you say, last year was pretty awesome, so this year is going to be even better. Now, sorry if we haven't got to your questions, because obviously we've only got a short amount of time for this conference, but thank you all for tuning in. And finally from me, I just want to ask both the drivers, what are your targets for the forthcoming season? So Paul, what's your target? What do you want?
My target is definitely to enjoy this season. It's been a huge step, a lot of hard work. I would like to just be, certainly in a competitive position to enjoy the racing. Equally, for Force India, do the best job possible to promote them in the Constructors' Championship, and equally my standings in the drivers. There's a lot of guys that I want to be out racing with, and fingers crossed things can gel together and we can have a fantastic season to look back on in December.
Adrian, your target?
For me, my target is clear, the top 10 again. I was same points with Rubens on the 11th position, so it hurts me a little bit. So this year I want to definitely be in the top 10, and but very important, yeah, as a team we have a big goal. As I said before, 5th position would be our dream goal, so that's what we try to achieve.
Personal targets are as important, aren't they, as team targets?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, thanks for all your questions that you've sent in and taken part. That's it from the Force India F1 Team VJM04 launch. You've seen the car. The team here are now going to go to Jerez on Thursday for the first day of testing that car. Thanks for joining us. Let's wish the team luck. It's going to be a great season.